A very good day to all my listeners all across the globe. Welcome back to my podcast, George Nathaniel, and this is George Nathaniel for each one of you. As each one of my listeners know, my podcast is all about sharing wellness, sharing good experiences, and above all, helping each other grow faster in life. And like I've been saying it time and again, 2024 is an excellent year for each one of us to exceed our expectations and, of course, rise above and achieve higher and bigger goals in life. Well, all my podcast in 2024 is going to be about progress, faster achievements, bigger goals, anything that can help us speed up our process or help us achieve anything bigger in life. Well, today I have a very interesting topic, a topic that has been requested by one of my listeners who himself is a leader. He is an accomplished leader in his own way, and he is humble enough to come back to me with this request. Well, his request was on a topic called Your Leadership Growth. Well, when I studied the topic, Your Leadership Growth, and I wanted to simplify it, this is what I came up with. I understood that everyone, so when I say everyone, I mean each one of us is a leader in our own way. Some way, in something or the other. But each one of us are a leader. Now, what is important for us is to understand what is your success story, or what is our success story, or what is your success theory, apart from just inspiring, motivating to drive success. I'm sure as a leader, there's a lot of efforts that go in. And when we talk about leadership, we all know that leadership is not a position. Leadership is action. And when you talk about leaders put in a lot of efforts to grow themselves first and then ensure that the one that they're helping, they take them to the place that they deserve to be. That is the power of leadership. And that's what I understood from my listener. This is something that he wanted to hear about, your leadership growth. That means what is our leadership style in our own individual way. Surely a lot goes into each one of our domains. A lot of efforts in our leadership. A lot of efforts to ensuring that we are successful in every endeavor. So as a leader in your domain, looking at your leadership growth, apart from being authentic, apart from being confident, being humble, and leading through successful results, what is your leadership style, or what enables your leadership growth? We all know that a leader impacts is not just measured by success and growth. We know that a leader puts in much effort, much more efforts, and it just makes us seem easy or feel easy when a leader is defining goals, when a leader is deciding priorities, when a leader actions that result. But what we don't understand is, as a leader, how much of effort goes in learning, in preparing for the future, preparing for situations, circumstances, preparing to meet expectation. So what is your leadership growth? And what are the efforts that you put in implementing these things in a simple way that result? Well, each one of you are leaders, and I'm sure when we look at each one of us, each one of you is always and surely working on your reputation as a leader and working on consistency. Because leadership is about consistency. It's about winning ways, winning habits, winning processes, winning mindsets, and it's about building winners. So when we look at your leadership growth, what are the things that we look at when we talk about self-awareness? Well, self-awareness that I studied or what I went through was your strength and your reasoning, why people look up to you as a leader. Your adaptability in building trust, in people coming to relate to you, individuals coming to relate to you, to confide in you, and of course your influence, how effective you are in making sure that they result. So as leaders, I'm sure each one of you are humble in your own way. Each one of you are very sincere, very hardworking, very precise, and each one of you have your own leadership growth pattern. So when we look at your leadership growth pattern when it comes to an approach or communication or reliability or being realistic and intelligent, and most of all inspiring to empower, what are the things that you do as a leader? So how do you work on building your leadership growth? And what are the key takeaways that you can share to help others or to help individual leaders like you in growing towards betterment, or in raising their own benchmark, or looking at bigger success in life? Well, becoming a leader is not easy. Remaining a leader is even tougher. And like I said in the beginning, each one is a leader in their own way, some way in something or the other. So when we look at a leader, we're looking at somebody who is always on the run. When I was young, I remember someone calling me George on the run, because I was always on the run, running towards development, running towards progress, running towards learning, learning towards improving, improvisation. I was just running to meet life, running to accomplish things over life. So as a leader, what are your key takeaways? What do you share is your leadership growth? So when I talk about run as a leader is always running, like I said. So run. How do you recognize your worth? How do you understand your position? And how do you understand the need to keep learning and improving? Well, today's podcast is going to be very simple, very generic, and most of all, the key takeaways are expected to come from each one of my listeners today. Come in, share your leadership pattern, share your leadership theory, share your leadership growth process. What enables you as a successful leader? And like I said it in the beginning, I said it in a very simple way. Leadership is action, it's not position. And when you grow yourself, when you raise your own benchmark, when you work on being consistent and helping others to go where they deserve to be, that is the power of real leadership. So what do you do as a leader? How do you build your leadership growth? How do you build your leadership pattern? How do you build your theory? How do you build your processes? Come in, share the same way that I am sharing, so that I'm sure people will get some kind of an idea, an experience, a little bit of a know-how, so they can also work on a few takeaways from your experience, relating to their own lives, relating to their own situations, relating to their own goals. So it's very important for us to keep sharing with all sincerity, keep sharing in a very realistic, simple and adaptable way. And above all, we need to share in ways that give us results. So your leadership growth, like one of my listeners said, is a very, very interesting topic. And I'm sure that even if you think you cannot share it on this platform as a message or as a share or whatever, maybe you can implement the same thing in your life. I'm sure each one of us or each one of you are mentoring someone or the other in their lives. Each one of you are a star to somebody. Each one of you are an influence to somebody. So when you go to that somebody, that person today, how do you help him to relate to your leadership growth? How do you help him grow faster? So I thank my listener for coming up with this beautiful out of the box message. your leadership growth. So that is giving everybody a thought process to think, to relate how they can share and help faster growth in life. And my podcast is just about that. It's just about sharing wellness. It's about sharing happiness. It's about helping each other grow faster in life, raising each other's benchmarks, helping each other achieve bigger and higher goals in life. So, listeners, my podcast today has been very simple. No key takeaways from my side, but as you looking at yourself as a leader in your own way, I want you to come back and share your key takeaways. So the both key takeaways we have, the merrier for each one of us to come down and relate and make things easier as we go along the journey of life. I hope you like listening to my podcast, Your Leadership Growth. My podcast, as you know, George Nathaniel, is available across all platforms. I even have my blog website, which is called georgenathaniel.net. You can come into my blogs, read my blogs, which are totally different, listen to my podcasts, which are totally different. Of course, above everything, you can come in with your own message on the subject or topic that you feel can benefit others, grow faster, elevate them to the next level, and above all, help in building happiness and wellness all across. Thank you so much, and this is George Nathaniel. I wish each one of you greatest success in life. Keep sharing all happiness and wellness all across. Thank you so much, and keep listening to my podcast, keep sharing, and keep coming back with your own requests. Thank you. This is George Nathaniel.